When you think of the French, do you think of the Eiffel Tower, baguettes, weird hats, coffee at the cafe on the sidewalk? Well, now you should be thinking of hi-fi headphones because Focal has been doing it so good for so long, and they've introduced these 3 new models to the market that are all based off of the Bathys. One of these is amazing, and one of these is terrible, so let's get to it. I want to start off with the worst of the bunch. This is the Focal Azurys. I was like, it's blue, and it's beautiful, and I kind of like closebacks. This is probably one of the worst closebacks I've heard in a long time, especially at the price point. It's just so airy and so light. I have notes about this. Hold on, notebook. The Azurys. The stock earpads were just honestly terrible. They were just too airy, too splashy, no oomph. It's just really mid-rangey as fuck. It doesn't sound right, the tonality and the timbre of the headphone. It's hard to achieve stuff like that in a closeback because all of the air pressure is stuck inside of the ear cup. This tiny acoustic space is really gonna be hard to get perfect. This is the ugly, they're beautiful, they're the most affordable model, and it's just sad. This one is the bad one. Is the Focal Hadenys. Hadenys? Hadenys? Hadenys. Hades. This is the Focal Hades. This is the open back. It sounds so much better, and there's a little oomph in that low end that people are gonna want to make this a fun headphone. These aren't marketed as studio headphones, they're marketed as hi-fi headphones. These aren't terrible. The only problem is that they should have been priced the same price as the Azurys. That makes it almost a no-go for me. And also this brown color, as much as I like brown, I would prefer my headphones to not look like shit colored. Sorry, hold on, stock earpads. Tubes do not work with the stock earpad, so that added distortion. The soundstage is just outside of the listening space. It can be splashy and bright at sometimes like the Azurys, but it's not overwhelming because there's a balance on the low mids. It's lacking a lot of sub bass and impact. When you're expecting air pressure to come from maybe a kick drum and just push, doesn't really present itself that well. The mid bass slightly pronounced, right? That's that tonal balance. So if the mid bass is a little up, it actually kind of, your perception kind of brings some of the high frequencies down. Because it's open back, the low frequency content has a little bit more time to complete its cycle, and it's less on your brain to do the psychoacoustics to make up that information. Crystal clear highs, but the mids lack vocal presence. Now, I'm the type of person, I want my vocals to be like here. It's kind of just a personal preference of mine, but I like them front and center. These don't present very well with the stock earpads. If I bought a Hadenys, I like them, but they just need a little bit more. I would say the Dekoni Sheepskin. Enhances the mid bass, which helps with perception. You're not getting a lot of sub bass, but at least that mid bass warms it up and makes you feel like something's not completely missing. Perfect treble, not stabby. You're not gonna get ear bleed. Good mid range, not crazy sibilant. Good imaging, phenomenal. The soundstage is still intimate, can sound nasally at sometimes. Good with rock, might be lacking for hip hop or electronic music. Now, I'm the type of person, rock, hip hop, electronic. Those are my 3. If I can't hit all of them, the headphone is probably not going to do much for me and probably doesn't deserve a place on my wall. I preferred the tubes, specifically with the sheepskin. This helps maintain a lot of the air pressure towards your ear. What that does is it enhances low frequency content, mid bass in this case. And then on top of it, with the tubes, the even harmonics distortion, that warmth brought the headphone together and almost took care of all of the problems that I had. I would still say that this is still expensive for what you get, and I would go for a different mid-fi headphone. Now, the Bathys, the star child. It's amazing what you can do with DSP. It doesn't have any of the problems the previous 2 had, even with it being closed back, because there's this beautiful thing called digital signal processing. It allows you to fix any of the problems. What's amazing about the Focal Bathys, the ear cups are so large and so spacious, which is not a normal thing for flagship noise canceling headphones. A Sony XM5, your ear is pressing against the driver. So to be able to remove your ear a little further from rubbing on the driver is an amazing comfort feature. Now for $699, is it worth to get this over all of the other noise canceling headphones as well as the Hadenys, and the Azurys? And it's absolutely a yes. The XM5, driver rub, main concern from the people who ask me about Earpads. The new Bose QC, this has more ear space. The noise canceling is just as good. The DSP is amazing. I can hear low frequency content very well. I can feel the air pressure. It's almost like I can hear the microphones in the mix. Just the head turning factor when you're wearing this. As an added feature in the app, you can actually turn on the lights for the Focal logo, which kind of helps you when people want to talk to you. Hey, can you take off your headphones? Now the light is kind of like, hey, I'm fucking listening. It's like a beacon, like don't fucking tell me to take off my headphones. It looks beautiful, it's luxurious. Now the only downside to getting a Bathys, the Earpads. Now the Earpads are pleather that come with it. The one feature that really makes this shine outside of just sounding good, outside of being comfortable, outside of looking luxurious, it's that dual Bluetooth connectivity. So I connect this to my MacBook and I also connect it to my phone. So when I'm doing work on my MacBook, I'm editing or I'm doing business, and someone calls me, I pick up my phone and it automatically switches to my phone audio and pauses my music. This thing is just awesome. I wish I can afford one. I can't. So that's Focal's new form factor. Hopefully that cleared the air on, and honestly, DSP is king at this point. Won't be annoyed, might be lacking, definitely don't buy. That's it, dilly out.